Assalamu alaikum everyone. A very warm welcome to Learn Correct English. I hope you people are doing great. So today's topic would comprise of sentence, and we would be learning different types of sentence. And let us move forward with this topic today. So what is a sentence? Whenever we speak or write a group of words in certain order that makes sense. All right, that group of words that make sense, that group of words is basically a sentence. So, whatever you try to communicate in the form of words in your daily life, or whatever you write in a certain order, in a specific order, like for example, there is a noun, then there is a helping verb, and then there would be the main verb, and the object on which the action is being performed, or in certain cases, there may not be any object. So, that form of that group of words in that certain order basically constitute a sentence. So this is the very basic definition of a sentence. So how many of you know the types of a sentence? There are actually 4 types of a sentence. One is declarative assertive sentence, one is interrogative sentence, one is imperative sentence, and one is exclamatory sentence. So anyone of you know about the details of these sentences? So basically in the declarative and assertive sentence, this table would guide you and it would help you in the best possible way. So what are the declarative and assertive sentences? These are those sentences where we make simple statements or we convey a simple sentence. Like for example, you play cricket. So here it is a type of a single sentence. We are making any statement, we are giving information. So that is why it is assertive or declarative. Got it? And then we have this interrogative. The very word suggests this thing that in such type of sentences, we ask questions like how are you, where are you, who are you, what is your name, what are you studying? All those question form basically are the interrogative sentences. So what are imperative sentences? Imperative sentences are those sentences in which we include command or entreaty. So for example, be quiet, learn these rules. For example, here we are giving the commands. Here we are directly addressing the person sitting next to us or standing next to us. Here, the subject or the person whom we are addressing is actually absent. So you see here, there is a subject, here is a subject, and when we come towards the exclamatory sentences, the very word in itself tells us about the strong feelings that are expressed in such sentences. Like, for example, the feelings of happiness, hurrah, we have won the match, and what a shame, or here a certain type of feeling is explained here. So you see here we have a subject we, and it is the last type of a sentence. So these are the 4 basic types of sentence. Declarative and assertive, in which we make statements. Interrogative, in which we ask questions. Imperative, in which we command or in which we request something. So, like for example, pass me the salt. All right. So, exclamatory sentences hold strong feelings of sadness, happiness, loss, gain. So, all those feelings are included in the exclamatory sentences. So, let us move forward. In the very beginning, the definition which I told you about sentence was the very basic one. So, in English, we come across the parts of a sentence which make it exactly a sentence. So, what are those parts of a sentence? These are two basic parts of a sentence. One is subject, one is the predicate. You see, whatever you try to mention in your discussion or whatever you try to write, you mention something or some person in that speech or in that writing. So that person that is mentioned or that thing that you have spoken about, basically these two things are known as subject. All right. And then when we tell something about that person or a thing, then that something which we are telling us, which we are telling anyone about that person or a thing, that information gives us the second part, that is the predicate. So that is how we have distributed these parts of sentence. One is subject, one is the predicate. Got it? Subject is the person or a thing that is mentioned in a sentence. And predicate is the information about that person or a thing in a sentence. So you need to learn these two basic parts of a sentence, because the rules which I would be making you learn in the next coming videos would basically comprise on these two basic foundations, that is a subject and a predicate. So let us move forward. So these are some of the exercises for your better learning. And let us see the question here. Find the subject and the predicate in the following sentences. So in the very first sentence, the boy stood on the road. As I have told you before, that the person or a thing that we are speaking about is the subject. So here we would mention it as subject. And whatever is telling us about that boy, like this boy is standing on the road, or that he stood on that road, like he was standing on that road. So this part of the sentence is giving us information about that boy. So this information is the predicate part. All right. So in next example, we see she has a good smile. So she, we are mentioning here the person or a thing. We are mentioning here basically a person. So that is why this she is subject, and whatever we are telling about her is the predicate part. So that is how you have to identify subject and predicate, and these are the very basic questions that come in the exams of metric, or you see 9th or 10th, or in you see intermediate exams. So you have to grasp this concept fully in order to achieve the best grade in this subject. So now coming back towards the third example, the earth is round. Here we are telling about the earth. So that is why the earth is subject. And what we are telling about the earth is, it is round. So this is round is basically a predicate. So here I would also like to mention that it does not follow this rule that this subject would always come in the first part of the sentence and predicate would always follow it. It can happen, like for example, in this sentence, here comes the car. Here you see how they have inverted the structure and how you would identify the subject and the predicate here. So you need to simplify the sentence like the here comes the car. So that the car, the thing which we are talking about, is the subject, and whatever we are telling about the car is the predicate. So you see how predicate can come in the very first place in a sentence and a subject can follow it, and how the subject can come in the very first place in a sentence and predicate can follow. So in this example, sweet are the unheard melodies. So what we are talking about here, we are talking about here the unheard melodies. We are mentioning here the unheard melodies. So that is why it would be the subject. And what information are we giving about these unheard melodies? That they are sweet. So that is why this part of the sentence would be the predicate. I hope that you have got the basic understanding of the subject and predicate part. And you need to learn all those four basic types of a sentence. And you need to learn and do some exercises on your own in order to have better understanding of this concept. So that is all from today's session. I hope that it is of some benefit to you. So keep learning, keep subscribing my channel and keep sharing it. Thank you so much.